Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Trinity, and if you are here, you must be here to talk about books because that's why I'm here. And I bought more books. I don't know why I let that stretch out because you guys saw the thumbnail that said I bought more books. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into what I have purchased recently. I need to stop, but why? Why stop? Why stop buying books when you can get them for so cheap now? Okay, the first book that I picked up is The Space Man of Bohemia. Now, I picked this up because there were a couple of people who said that this was very much like Project Hail Mary. And if you guys have seen any videos of mine recently, you will know I love Project Hail Mary so much. And I don't like comparing one book to another, but the one thing that did click with me is the humor was on par with Project Hail Mary. So I was very, very excited to pick this up. I do know that the main character in this is kind of passé about the fact that he's an astronaut. Like, he's bored with it. He's over it. And so I feel like that's where they compare Andy Weir's humor to this guy. I'm horrible with names as is. And I don't want to butcher it. I do apologize. But I feel like if the humor is as good as Andy Weir's in Project Hail Mary and The Martian, then I'm going to enjoy this book. Okay, and I want to say when I go to the buy sell trade, you guys know that usually I'm picking up books for like $1. So I just pick up books that sound good while I'm there, and not always like books I've heard a ton about, but they just sound good and they're $1. So I'm picking it up. So I have heard of Nikki Drayden, but I don't know that I've heard anybody talking about Escaping Exodus. This is a standalone sci-fi, though. That is what drew me into this one. And it says, Earth is a distant memory. Habitable extrasolar planets are still out of reach. For generations, humanity has survived by establishing colonies within enormous vacuum-breathing space beasts and mining their resources to the point of depletion. Rash and unconventional, Seski Kaylee should be preparing for her future role as clan leader, but her people have just culled their latest beast, and she is eager to find the cause of the violent tremors plaguing their new home. Defying social barriers, Seski teams up with her best friend, a beast worker, and ventures into restricted areas, searching for answers. Instead, they discover grim truths about the price of life in the void. Then Seski unexpectedly becomes clan matriarch, responsible for thousands of lives in a harsh universe. Her claim to the throne is challenged by a rival determined to take control, her intelligent, cunning, and confident sister. Seski may not be born a leader like her sister, but her unorthodox outlook and incorruptible idealism may be what the clan needs to save itself and its world. Super, super pumped for this one. The Prey of the Gods. The Prey of the Gods is the one that I've heard talked about, Nikki Drayden. So, and this is sapphic, I do believe. So, again, super, super pumped for it. And God, that cover is gorgeous. Gorgeous. This next purchase is a I caved to booktube purchase. And I caved because it was $1. Sleeping Giants by Sylvan Nouvelle. Now, I have not seen a booktuber not talk about this book, and I've heard everybody say this first book is genius and amazing. And I have heard that just about everybody hates the third book. So I did want to go ahead and give my 2 cents because I know that I have unpopular opinions. So I may hate it, I may love it. Who's to know? But I do want to give it a go. This is about a girl who finds a robot hand, a very, very large robot hand. And then they start to discover that this robot hand was once attached to a robot body, and they are finding more parts of the robot and trying to rebuild it. So very, very excited for that. So this one I have actually been wanting to read for quite some time and kind of forgot about until I ran across it at the buy sell trade again, and that is The Golem and the Genie. And this is historical fiction and magical realism all meshed together, and that's just, I kind of like those kinds of stories. And so I'm really hoping that I like this. Like I said, I've been meaning to read it for a very, very long time and then kind of forgot about it. I know that it has been highly praised across the board, so I'm very excited to give it a go myself. This next one, I do remember some people talking about a while ago. I don't remember when this was published, but I do remember there was a lot of hype around it when it came out, and that is The Wind-Up Girl. Now, what I know about this one is there is an AI that is a former pleasure slave, and she ends up being, or it ends up being, a companion to our main character, and the wind-up girl being the AI. But our main character is what is called a company man, and basically he keeps searching the earth for foodstuffs, which are now scarce, and food has become currency because all of the resources of the world have been stripped. So I'm very, very excited to get into this. I have had my issues with dystopian novels lately, but I am really, really hoping that I like this one. Now, the next few books, Books A Million had their summer sale, and there were so many things like hugely discounted, and so I couldn't pass it up and had to go pick up these books. Which, again, I just scoured the shelves. I wasn't looking for anything in particular, but I did come across some pretty good finds, I think. And Youngsi Cho, The Night Tiger. Again, I hope I said that right. I have no idea if I did, and I apologize if I butchered it. But this is a book that I have seen on quite a few booktubers' channels, and so I was just going to give you the quick synopsis here. Quick-witted, ambitious Ji Lin is stuck as an apprentice dressmaker, moonlighting as a dance hall girl to help pay off her mother's mahjong debts. But when one of her dance partners accidentally leaves behind a gruesome souvenir, Ji Lin plunges into a dark adventure, a mirror world of secrets and superstitions. 11-year-old Chinese houseboy Ren also has a secret, a promise he must fulfill to his dead master, to find his master's severed finger and bury it with his body. Ren has 49 days to do so, or his master's soul will wander the earth forever. As the days tick relentlessly by, a series of unexplained deaths racks the district, along with whispers about men who turn into tigers. Ji Lin and Ren's increasingly dangerous past crisscross through lush plantations, hospital storage rooms, and ghostly dreamscapes. So again, it sounds like it's going to be like historical fiction mixed with magical realism, and I'm very, very excited for it. I've heard very good things about The Night Tiger. I did hear that it's a little slower paced, but I'm probably going to see if I can get my hands on an audio for this one and, you know, read and listen at the same time, because that's what I like to do with slow books. All right, this next one is one I have been super pumped for because everybody that I've talked to has loved this book. And I've never been able to find the first book, A Hero Born by Jin Young. Now, I don't know a whole lot about this book other than it is Asian fantasy and one that almost everyone who reads is blown away by. And so I'm very excited to read it myself, and I'm so pumped that I finally found the first book. Something that I didn't know when I went to the bookstore was that Django Wexler wrote a young adult series. I didn't know this, and so when I saw this, I was like, oh. Ship of Smoke and Steel. I know nothing about this other than Django Wexler wrote it. And the cover is just so dang cool. But let me go ahead and read you the back. There are 9 wells of sorcery, the pathways of magic the ancients burned into the fabric of the world. Most people can't touch any of them. Those who can reach at least one are called mageborn. Most of them can only draw a trickle of power from 1 or 2 of the wells. They are the touched. A few can manage more, enough to matter, enough to kill. They are the talents. And a handful, the adepts, have full access to the power of their well. That's me. My well is Melos, the well of combat, war. So, super pumped for this one. It sounds like it's going to be good. And it's actually pretty short, so we shall see. We shall see, right? As you guys know, if you've watched some of my previous videos, I really love Anne Bishop. I really love the Others series, so I went ahead and picked up the next book that is outside of the original series. This is the continuation, so super, super pumped to continue with these. These are about the Others, which are the natives to the world that they live in and share this space with humans, but they don't like it. They have a mutually beneficial arrangement, and sometimes they still fight, and sometimes the humans want more than the others are willing to give them, and the others fight back. So it's just really interesting to read and really fun series to delve into. And I picked up the last book in the Scythe trilogy, The Toll, which means I still don't own Scythe, but I own the rest of the series because I'm crazy like that. But I am very pumped to continue this series. It is so good. If you like sci-fi, I highly recommend picking up Scythe. Neil Shusterman does a great job with this series. Such a great premise. If you don't know, Scythe is about people who deal out death. The world as we know it has superseded death. The medical advances that they have made death a non-issue. And so now there are people who have to kill others to keep the population from getting out of hand. And that is what Scythe is about. So I'm very excited to finish up this series. Now, the last book in this haul is The Healer by Donna Freitas. I have not heard anything about this book, but when I read the synopsis, I was like, oh, that sounds really good. So let me go ahead and read it to you. Marlena Oliveira has been given an extraordinary gift. She has been given the power to heal. She can cure paralysis, mental illness, even a broken heart. People with all kinds of ailments come from around the world seeking audiences with her, believing her to be a saint, but her power comes at a price. Marlena can't have friends or go to school. She can't date. She can't even touch anyone. And the older she gets, the more trapped she feels. Then Marlena meets Finn, a boy who makes her want to be the kind of girl who could fall in love. For the first time, she begins to doubt her abilities and herself. Is her gift real? And even if it is it worth sacrificing her chance at a happy life? And who would or could she be without? All Marlena wants is to experience what it is to be normal, to swim in a bathing suit, to eat lunch at a diner in town, to be kissed. But if she gives up her gift, will she ever be able to get it back? It sounds like it's going to be really good. So I'm very pumped for this. It's such a pretty book. Like, I don't know that I would expect what's inside from what's on the outside. But yeah, it sounded good, so I picked it up. That is my haul for today. Like, subscribe, do all the fun things, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.